Hi everybody, I'm Ken from Upscale. Welcome. A lot of people who live around the country have written in and said, I wish I could visit your store. Today's your opportunity. Let's go inside. Upscale Audio. One of the things that Kevin is very proud of is his collection of vintage Marantz gear. And one of the reasons is that Marantz was one of the first companies to really popularize high fidelity for the home, and they did it originally with all tube gear. One of the things that makes Upscale a really unique retailer of high-end stereo equipment is we have a great online presence. We can service you and help you through chat, text, email, telephone. And whether you are in Alaska, Hawaii, the East Coast, Indianapolis, Utah, we have experience dealing with and shipping products all over the United States. But I want to talk about one of the things that's different with us and our competitors. When we're back here a little bit, we ship a little different and we prepare things for shipment a little bit differently, especially when it comes to turntables. So let's go and take a look around the lobby a little bit. One of the major brands that we sell in speakers is Focal. We have Evo, Canta, Sopra, Utopia, and their newest, the Diva. Diva is wireless and self-powered. One cable, plug it into the wall, turn it on, control it with your phone. A lot of people don't want a lot of equipment and wires in their living room. Or you're into the traditional stuff and maybe you need a rack and you need lots of equipment. We have MoFi and all of their products, including their complete speaker line, on display and available for demonstration. This is all the Fyne audio in their classic and vintage classic and classic gold SP. Oh my God, that's a lot of classic stuff, isn't it? Let's take a look in room one and talk about a sound room. This room is big enough that we can do a system at both ends of the room. We have, here's the Klipsch Cornwall. I'm sorry, the Klipsch K-horn. We're going to show you the Cornwall when we get to the other room. We have the top of the line Fyne audio and Pathos gear. But one of the great things about this room is it was constructed from the ground up for the purposes of listening to music. And we do a lot of things in here, from acoustical treatments to the room measurements to the double thick drywall, the sealed door, to create a really great sound environment. Now, I know you might not have a great sound environment at your home. Very few people do. But by having a great sound room, it lets us and you listen to the music in the best possible way. So one of the things I tell people is, hey, if you're going to test drive a Porsche, you want to try it in the parking lot, or would you rather get on the freeway or a racetrack and see what it can do? We can put equipment in here and really see what the equipment sounds like. And this gives us a better perspective when we're comparing something. So if we have two different amplifiers or two different pairs of speakers, by having a great sound room, we can better determine the differences and contrast and compare them. Our salespeople have spent lots of time in these sound rooms. They've listened to a lot of equipment. So if you can't come visit us, you can talk to us and we can explain these differences to you. Let's go around and see some other things in the rest of the store. We have experts in many fields, such as digital audio, analog, which encompasses turntables, the cartridges and the preamps that it works with. One of our fastest growing categories in the past few years has been personal audio, headphones, headphone amplifiers, and everything that goes with it. And it's a great way to get into high-end gear because headphones and headphone systems can sound amazing for far less than a cost of a system that will fill your living room or your sound room or your home theater. This is something that, and if you have a great home system, oh my gosh, you really need headphones. You can travel with them, you can enjoy stuff in a totally new, different way. So we've got great headphone experts that really understand this gear and how these things work together to create synergy. Vacuum tubes are what brought Kevin to the audio business. He was an audio salesperson and very active in audio and audio as a hobby, but vacuum tubes launched him into his retail audio career. There's a long story behind that, and I hope you get to hear it, as well as some of the stories about him trading Jack Daniels for tubes. Kevin has a lot of great and unique art and memorabilia on the walls of the store. He can tell you the stories much better than I can, but that's a Jimi Hendrix guitar string, and a little bit further down on the left is a red feather from the boa of Janis Joplin. Let's go in room 2. Take a look in there. Oh, I almost didn't say anything about all this personal audio equipment. Man, headphones are taking off. If you don't have a good pair of headphones, think about it. We do a lot of demonstrations for clients and equipment. Dalen is here setting up and getting ready for a demonstration we're doing for some Fyne audio speakers this afternoon. One of the brands that we feature, and what I mean by when we say we feature, we keep all the models, most of the finishes, and demonstrations available of Heresies, Fortes, Cornwalls, La Scalas, Klipsch horns, Jubilees. That is the entire Klipsch heritage line. And the Jubilee is a very big speaker to keep hanging out in the warehouse ready for a demonstration. This room's a little bit smaller than the first room we were in. This is the room we use the most. It is closer to the room that most people use at home, whether it's their living room, den, family area. Let's keep going. We're going to go into the room 3, and along the way we'll say hi to a couple people. This is where most of our sales staff works. We keep 4 staff here in the store, and we have an additional 4 persons in sales that work remotely. Thank you guys for all your hard work. Behind them is a lot of equipment ready to go out onto the floor for demonstration purposes. And when you call and you say, does it have a subwoofer output? How do I connect my XLR cable? What is the trigger? We've got equipment here we can reference for you. This is room 3. It's our smallest 2-channel room. This is my favorite room because this is about the size of my listening room at home. I really love the way this room is treated acoustically. And one of the things that really surprised me about this room is how amazing huge speakers that you would never think you could put in a big room can sound in a properly treated smaller room. The scale of the sound can be amazing. We have some this is where we would demonstrate bookshelf speakers, exampled by some of the speakers that we have over here. Speakers from Wharfdale, Fyne Audio. Let's go in. Last room is our home theater. I mentioned that headphones and personal audio, that's our fastest growing department. One of the departments that we feature is home theater, and we have experts that know and understand home theater, but most importantly, one of the hardest things to do with home theater is integrate a 2-channel system that sounds wonderful for music. This is one of the things that we do very well. So if you want what we call, and Kevin came up with, music first home theater, it's a great, great way to experience audiovisual and 2-channel listening. Let's look into our repair and service areas. Hi, Ruben. I'm waving to Ruben. Ruben is our service technician. Right here is an area we use for setting up turntables. We have 3 possible areas for analog work. One of our most busiest departments, and one of the things that we do exceptionally well for a national retailer, is analog. Turntables the appropriate cartridge for your turntable, the appropriate phonograph preamplifier for your turntable, and whether you're buying a turntable at $2,000, $20,000, or $50,000, we know how to properly prepare it, set it up, calibrate it, hook everything up, test it, listen to it, and then redo it for shipping and have the expertise to explain to you how to take it out of the box and have it ready to go. Whether you're in Florida, Boston, Indiana, Oklahoma, maybe even my hometown, Cincinnati, Ohio, shout out. Let's go take a look in the warehouse. We're out in the warehouse right now, and this is the first of two warehouses. We were only in this warehouse for about a year before it was way too full, and we got another warehouse on the other side of the cul-de-sac from here. This one's about 15,000 square feet. We've got about 20,000 square feet across the street. And you can see this is one of 3 aisles over here. We keep everything we can in stock, in all the finishes we can. Kevin is a big believer that if we have it, you'll buy it. And you'll buy it if we have it in stock. I want to go across the street and show you that warehouse too. This is our second warehouse. We've got about 20,000 square feet over here. A lot of our products on this side of the warehouse, on this side of the street, are larger, but we also do all of our primary shipping and receiving from this side of the street. We waited till the end of the day so we wouldn't interrupt the workflow. This is where everything is packed and prepared for shipping, as well as received from our manufacturers and our suppliers. And one of the things I wanted to show you is that we rebox everything. We don't just send a box that says the brand name and screams, here is expensive audio, and then dump it on your porch. We put it in external boxes, so it's all double boxed, it's well protected, it's well padded. We feel that it's safer, less likely to get damaged. We stand a better chance of making you feel like it's special when you get it, because it is. People spend good money. This is your money. We want you to choose Upscale Audio for these kind of products, and we want to do the right thing to make sure we take good care of you. One of the big things we do from here too, over here, is we've got our expensive stuff, including vacuum tubes in a cage back here. Let's go back here, Jordan. Jordan's the camera guy. Thanks for following me, Jordan. Over here on the right, while we're on the way over here, let's stop and look in at tubes. We test all of our tubes. Power tubes, there's two kinds of tubes that we do. We've got power tubes that get burned in 24 to 72 hours, because if you test the tube fresh out of the factory without ever being used, it might not give you the same results as after it's been used for a little bit. It needs some time to settle in. These tubes are burning in. Can you get right in here, Jordan? Here's another tube burner working. So EL34s, KT88s, KT120s, KT150s, these all need to burn in, and then we measure them and we can get accurate test results. Because we do large batches of tubes, we are able to get better matches. Because we buy better quality tubes, we restrict the tubes that we purchase. In other words, it might work in a guitar amp, it might work in some other equipment, but if you're using it in a high-end amplifier, you can't use the tubes that might work in other products. We restrict our tubes to just the kind of tubes that are designed for high-end audio. One of the things that we like to be able to do is, here at the tube testing station, we listen to the tubes as well as test them. And sometimes we even have to listen to them in an amplifier. All right, now that we've seen the tube testing area, let's go over here where we keep all of the tubes that have already been tested. Interestingly enough, the untested tubes are in secret boxes up there. Stuff from all over the world. You'd be surprised, India has great tubes. All right, so these two rows are all tubes, and then we have cables, cartridges, cables on the back wall. That whole back wall is AudioQuest cables, Nordost cables, Cardus cables, DH Lab cables, Kimber cables. Oh my gosh. And you know what? Cables are the perfect accessory for your system. If you don't have cables, it's going to make a difference. what I want to show you right here are two of my favorite tubes. This is a Radio Technique 12AU7 1956 French military. That's our test label. And what we're trying to do is match T1, T2. That's the transconductance on the two sections of the tube. It's a dual triode, meaning there's two triode sections. We want those sections to both have similar, if not close to identical. This one's very good, 28,000 and 27,000. That's much better than within a 10% match. This would be considered very good. One of my other favorite tubes, and Kevin can tell you the story about this one. Up here we have the Telefunken. These are 6922s from Europe. An amazing find of Kevin's. Hey, let's go over to the office. This is our offices and conference area. Say hi to Norma. She's in our accounting department. In this office, Jared's our purchaser. It's interesting to note he has been with Kevin and Upscale Audio for over 25 years. Every single order placed at Upscale, whether it's done through the store or online, is processed through software and okayed personally by Andrea. She touches them all. I mean, not, figuratively, right? Wave to Ash. Ash is our product manager. He's also our operations manager and a couple other hats he wears. He's a very busy man all the time. Let's go take a look in the studio. Is the studio ready, do you think, Jordan?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So if you're watching this video, I think there's a very good chance that you've watched other Upscale Audio videos. We have repurposed this area, and it continues to enlarge and make room for more projects and other social media, YouTube, all kinds of photography for products. But this is the studio we use. Here's my last video. We did the Marantz Model 10. That was fun. I hope you watched that video. So I think this kind of summarizes the tour. This is the end. If you've watched this far, I really want to thank you. You can tell we have about 30 people, 35 people that work for Upscale Audio, and from Kevin on through to the warehouse, the salespeople, everybody's dedicated to make sure you get good product. We work hard, and we just want you to be happy, and I want to thank you. We treat your system like it's ours. The marketing department's going to be happy that I remembered to say that. Thank you for watching.